Hello there, welcome back to The Groomsman. I'll be your host, Jonathan. Today I'm using Sangre de Drago by PAA. This is obviously Sangre de Drago is dragon's blood, which is a tree resin, and also has sandalwood and oud. This is a very, very dark, very woody scent. I don't really know what dragon's blood resin smells like. I've never smelled it before in any other product. But I do really get the sandalwood and the oud together. I assume that the oud, which is also a tree resin, is very similar to dragon's blood. But it smells really, really nice. Kind of dark, very woody, obviously. The sandalwood is like probably the lighter part of the scent, but that oud and the dragon's blood kind of make it a very dark, woody scent. I really like it. CK6, which is just as good as CK1. It just happens to be the one I got. I got it all whipped up here with my That Darn Rob brush and spalted maple. I got some Vanulé pre-shave already applied. I've talked about it plenty. Check out some of my older videos if this is your first, where I talk about the pre-shave and why I use it. For the razor today, I picked an oldie but a goodie. I'm using the Ronson, made in Canada. They had made in US and made in Britain versions. I think they're all the same. It's just made in different continents. There's stamping on it for the made in, and then I think there are some case differences. Well, at least with the British version. Other than that, I don't think there's any difference in like the shave or the design of the razor itself. I love this brush, by the way. Just got it, only like the second time I've gotten to use it. That Darn Rob, which is now Chisel and Hound. I love this knot though. I guess it's the TDR knot in a bulb, which I really like. I get why a lot of companies just do the fan knot thing, because it's a heck of a lot easier to tie a fan knot than it is a bulb knot. But I just like bulb knots so much better. So I'm not going to go crazy in depth with this because it would turn this into like a 40-minute video, but this is the Ronson. It is made to be stropped. It had a proprietary double-sided blade, and you would spin this wheel on your hand and it would strop the blade as it spun. So since they don't make those anymore, I use an injector blade on one side and half of a DE on the other. There's no stabilizer pins or anything, so I cut a DE and then I have to pull, or like I use a pair of pliers and break off the little wing edges on the blade, and then you just slide it in there between these two plates. So it's got this screw, and then you can unscrew it and this little top cap will come off. So I only slightly unscrew it and I slide the blades in there. The reason I use the injector blade is the original blade, being a double-sided blade, was made to rest in the holder like that. The back blade rested on the strop, and that provided a downward force and a stopping action for the front blade to keep it pressed flat against the guard. Some people use it without that on there. I think you increase your chances for blade shatter on that. The angle of the whole mechanism is going to be shallower because that blade is not sitting on the strap. Do what you will though. You can use either the DE or the injector side. It's personal preference. I only use a half DE personally in this. I just didn't like the feel of the injector blade in this one. You could adjust I just put the blade all the way back against it. There's a stop here where the screw goes in. That's where I put the blade against. You could pull it out a little bit and kind of fiddle with adjustment if you wanted. I don't. I think it feels perfect the way, with it all the way back against the stop. It's obviously pretty bulky, but I don't find that it's hard to find the angle. I just use it kind of like a regular DE. It was made so you could use all four sides of the blade. So you could use obviously this side, and then if you flipped it, then you could use the other four sides. You strop all four sides, use all four sides. I thought that was kind of a neat little function there. I do have like one of the original blades, I think, in the blade holder. But I mean, it's used. Very similar to a double-edged blade, but they're very rigid, kind of like a gem. Neat though. I find this razor very smooth. It's been a while since I used it, but I've used it for a while there. I used it quite a lot. Very smooth. I find the injector blade, if you use that, to be a little less smooth, but that might just mean I know a lot of people that just prefer the injector over the DE in this. If you're curious more about the assembly and how to get the blade in there, which I didn't go over on this video just because I didn't want to run like half an hour, 45 minutes. Look back through my playlist on our channel, or do a search, and I did a couple videos with the Ronson back in the day, and at least one of them I showed how I modify the blade to put it in there. That way if you get one or think about getting one, you can kind of see what you're getting yourself into. Very smooth, not a whole lot of blade feel, just a little. Like I said, you could probably modify that if you really wanted to, so you get more blade feel out of that. But I like it just the way it is. I got a half of Oshkosh in here. It's pretty good. They show up, I mean, these razors are kind of rare. They show up pretty often, I guess. I mean, I see them fairly regularly on eBay or Macari or something like that. I saw one on Macari, I don't know if it's still there. I think it was 60 bucks. It's a pretty fair price. I think that's about what I paid for mine. Maybe 40, something like that. They kind of fluctuate in price. Sometimes they'll get a little bit more in demand. They were kind of popular for a minute there, and then they were going up to 75, and then 125, 150. And then I think they kind of hung out there for a minute and kind of stalled out because everybody was like, that's too expensive. So eventually they kind of came back down. And I think 50, 60 is the kind of norm that I've seen. Maybe you'll get a little cheaper, like 40. Maybe we'll spend a little more at 75. So how's the weather been out there? I'm an old man, I'm very interested in the weather. We had a crazy winter system come through this weekend. Of course, during the weekend, not during the work week. Would appreciate it to stay at home on a work day. Instead, I got snowed in. My wife and kids went to go visit their Nana for spring break. And I had to make sure they left the day early to beat the storm that was coming in. We ended up getting a reported foot of snow in about 24 hours. I think it started snowing Saturday, like early 2 a.m., something like that. And then didn't stop until like 10 o'clock Saturday night. And it was like almost 24 hours worth of snowing. So yeah, foot of static ball, and then some pretty good snow drifts. I had a couple snow drifts in my driveway that were over 2 feet tall. It took well over 2 hours for me to get the driveway and the walks, the sidewalk, clear out the mailbox for the postman. The front porch, it was insane. Back porch for the dogs. Get out the exhaust vent for our HVAC system. Wasn't quite buried, but It's getting too close to the opening of there, so I had to clear some of that snow out. It's ridiculous how very smooth and efficient this razor is. Like for how bulky it is, you're like, it's not a very well designed razor. I disagree. They did a pretty darn good job. I think the built-in strap, I think is a pretty cool design too. For looking for kind of an all-in-one thing. I think it beats what the Valet Auto Strap had with theirs. I mean, it's just right there. If you want to drop it, you just drop it. Easy peasy. Blade change out is cool. I mean, I think that little spring function is pretty neat. I think it's just a cool razor. Anyways, tons and tons of snow. I was gonna do all these projects yesterday. I'm like working on this home improvement stuff. Supposed to paint the cabinets for my wife while they're gone in the kitchen. We had them like kind of a teal color, and now we're doing a green, which I'm fine with. I don't care. And then I bought some flooring. You guys ever done laminate flooring? Bought these laminate flooring boards from Lowe's Select Surfaces. Pretty neat. A lot thicker than most of the laminate flooring, which is only like 5 mils deep or 6 mils deep. This had two options. It had like the cheaper version of 10 mil deep, which is like $1.80 a square foot, and then they had a slightly larger one that was 14 mils deep or thick, and that was I think $2.20 a square foot. Pretty good deal. Comes with like the foam backing already on it, so you don't have to lay down another like a vapor barrier or a foam barrier or anything like that, unless you're laying on a concrete slab, then you do. But that was pretty neat. Well, I'm working on that. I got the cheaper one because I'm doing it in my son's bathroom first. So I figure I'm gonna experiment in the room that gets the least use in this house. He's the only one that uses that bathroom in the basement. Oh, I forgot which way I'm going. Against the grain. Anyway, they got all the flooring and the tools and stuff, and I'm gonna try to get that done this week before the family comes home. Should be a fairly easy process. With these laminate boards, there's not a whole lot to it. I don't even really do any floor prep. I think the biggest hurdle is cutting the board so they don't have like overlapping seams. It doesn't look all weird. And then cutting the boards around where the toilet's gonna end. It's the only thing I'm gonna take out is the toilet. I'm not gonna pull out the cabinets or nothing. I ain't got time for that. I know it looks like the lather could like kind of push down inside there, but it really doesn't. Like the guard just kind of pushes it down and then it just kind of hangs out down here on the chin, so to speak. But if it did go inside, it would rinse out. You can see like this whole back is hollow. It rinses out super easy. Any of you guys have done laminate, I would sure appreciate any tips you got. Those home improvement projects, I don't know. I like doing home improvement stuff. It's fun. Definitely get a huge sense of accomplishment when it's done, but also the giant pain in the butt. I'm requiring a little bit more touch-ups than I remember. Maybe it's not as efficient as I thought. Alright, I think I'm going to call it. I don't feel like I'm in danger of razor burn at all. My skin's not irritated in any way. But the touch-ups are just getting a little extreme. So not BBS, maybe in some spots, but damn good shave though. Damn fine shave. Pretty close to BBS though. Maybe I wanted to keep doing the touch-ups, but that feels pretty good. Oh, I forgot this spot right here. I always forget this spot under my ear. Okay, that was a shave with the Ronson. Super cool razor, built-in strap. And I'll be right back for the cold water rinse. And no, I'm gonna do a cold water rinse. I'll be right back for the splash. All right, I'm back. Thanks for sticking with me. I got the matching splash Sangre De Drago. I do really like this scent. It's one of my favorite scents. Woody, dark. Oh, so good. No burn. It's such a good shave. It's not BBS. There's definitely a little bit of stubble left, but damn fine shave, especially for work day. I do remember it being a little bit more efficient, but maybe it was just fond memories. Super smooth though. Alright, so splash is good. I love the splash. Same as always. You've seen me review PAA stuff before. There's nothing different about this than any other one. I do like it. It's a little bit darker. It can stain your stuff, your clothes and stuff if you're not careful. I do have the EDP. I'm not going to wear it today, unfortunately. I've had 2 of the spray pump atomizers. They don't work. They did work, and they both stopped working on me. I had this one, and then I have F-bombs, which I also like. Neither of them work. I had one that worked. I can't remember which of these ones worked, but one of them used to work, and I would switch it back and forth, which is a tedious process to try to empty out the EDP from the ones I didn't waste it, and then clean it, and then put it in the next one, and that was a fix until I found some replacements, and then they both died. So now I got nothing. I got no EDP. Every once in a while, it'll spray like one, or it gets like a little squirt comes out, but it won't do a whole spray. Nothing. But I will say, I'm gonna try and find a lid for this. I'm hesitant to go back to PAA to get a replacement lid. I know everyone's gonna tell me that. Just go to PAA, they'll send you a replacement lid. Maybe they will. Maybe I'll have to pay for it. Maybe I won't. But I've had 2 of theirs and they both broke. Like, should I really go and get another one from them? And I know that there's something wrong with them. Like, one is a happenstance. There's always errors in manufacturing and stuff. But 2, maybe they're not so great. So maybe I want to try and find a replacement lid that fits this bottle, or maybe a new bottle, and just transfer everything over, because something ain't working. But I would say that out. If you do get this EDP, unlike F-Bombs, which is clear, this one's tinted pretty heavily because of the wood, the oud, and the dragon's blood, tree resins, maybe to a lesser extent the sandalwood. I will say I sprayed this on a lighter color shirt once and it stained it. It might have came out in the wash, but I had little, because it's such a dark brown, like I spritzed my neck and then sprayed my chest a couple times and it made marks on my shirt. So if you're gonna use this, use it with a dark shirt. Or for now, I don't spray it on my shirts anymore. I would take my shirt off and spray it on my chest and then put my shirt on because I don't want to mark my clothes. So just a note, warning. Other than that, fantastic shave. My skin feels great. I'm still gonna add some good Oleo. I won't make you watch me put that on anymore, but I had good Oleo post-shave serum at the end of every shave, and that's the shave. Thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great start to your week, just like I did, and I'll see you here next time.